Hello, loves. Welcome into yet again another spooky paranormal video. I hope that you guys have been having a good day or night whenever this video reaches you guys. I'm very excited because tonight's video is going to be a very special one. And I have been noticing the growth of my channel and the new subscribers that I've been gaining. And I just want to say thank you so much for following along with me on the journey. I know that it's going to be, more growth day by day. And obviously, I'm very happy with the way things have been going. With that being said, though, I'm very excited for today's video in particular because I was talking with one of my subscribers and they were very kind enough to share in the comments down below their paranormal experience with me so that I can share it in a video. And I did tell you guys that if you did have any experiences at all, any paranormal, any spooky experiences, that you were welcome to share them with me down in the comments below, and I will make separate videos based on that, just talking about that. But I'm very happy to be able to get into this video with you guys. But quickly, before we get started on the actual video, they did draw a picture as well to show us a little bit of a description of what their imaginary friend looked like. And yes, that has everything to do with the story that we are going to be talking about today. But before we also get into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for the fan art as well. I loved it and I think it's beautiful. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into my subscriber's paranormal experience. This will be the first one of your videos. Also, I don't have Reddit, but let me tell you a very interesting paranormal experience I've had. Thank you so much, by the way. But let's get into this story. When I was very young, I had an imaginary friend called Marianne. She always kept half of her face covered, but I didn't think anything of it. My whole life, I've been really into paranormal stuff like calling ghosts and doing small rituals, like Bloody Mary. They never really scared me, but what happened with Marianne has left me traumatized. Basically, one night I decided to use a Ouija board to see if I would get anything as a result. So when I asked if something was there, it responded right away that it was there. You guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I 100% believe in Ouija boards because they do bring around spirits. They do bring around like entities. It's just like, especially if you believe in the paranormal or like you're really putting your energy into it and you really want to see something, it definitely will come around. But basically, let's continue. I actually knew who it was. I hadn't called any specific names. So I was very confused because when I asked who that was, it seemed like it got mad. I heard a ringing sound in my ears and I felt two cold hands around my neck. That's frightening, you guys. I think it was more than mad, and it definitely isn't a regular spirit. Like, something like that might seem like an entity, and obviously if you're younger, like I said, younger kids are innocent, so they're more vulnerable, especially to the dead. And when you're playing around with a Ouija board, specifically at a younger age, a lot could happen. And I just want to warn everyone out there that if you're using a Ouija board, make sure that you follow all the rules and that you don't play alone. Because playing alone is very risky and it also makes you more vulnerable and susceptible to the spirits to, kind of make them want to harm you, specifically because you're alone and, you're more vulnerable to it, and especially as a younger child as well. Because it does seem like this person was a lot younger when this specific thing happened to them. And I also want to say, if you're younger, you wouldn't know better, but obviously you shouldn't play with a Ouija board alone. It's like one of the main rules. And so it's like, if you do some experiences, you have to prepare. Those things could happen to you, specifically paranormal experiences, of course, if you're playing with the Ouija board alone. I wouldn't say it's something you should play with, but if you're playing, please follow the rules and play in a group, play with people, but never alone. Anyway, let's continue. with the experience. I actually knew who it was. I hadn't called anyone specifically, so I was very confused. When I asked what it was, it seemed like they got mad. I heard a ringing sound in my ears, and I felt two cold hands around my neck. So I ran to turn on a light, and suddenly everything stopped. I suppose the lights calmed her down. You guys, that is so scary. And this is exactly why we need to be careful when playing with the Ouija board, especially when we're doing it alone, because things like this can happen, and you're so much more vulnerable and susceptible to them, specifically being young, and not only that, playing it alone. Like, that's one of the broken rules that you really have to follow, the rule of, like, do not play alone, because you never know what can happen. Let's continue. After everything calmed down, I asked who it was, and to my surprise, it was her. After that night, lots of paranormal stuff started to happen. I've seen her in the shadow and mirrors, heard strange whispers, along with humming and candles opening on their own. And the most terrifying of all, I've had sleep paralysis. Yeah, that's no joke. And when you're having like negative nightmares or sleep paralysis after, trying to contact like spirits or entities, I feel like that's like a sign that, they're following you in your dreams and they're finding ways to harass you while they can because you seeked them out. And I feel like that's really scary. That's never happened to me before, although I've had a lot of scary experiences. But let's continue more on that. It was terrifying. She was always by the corner of the room watching me. I've also tried other things to see if I would get any paranormal signals from her, and I have. Learning things such as she died seeking revenge, probably why I felt hatred coming from her every time I see her. Anyway, if I have any updates, I will edit this comment, but I hope this was interesting and maybe helps a little if something similar had happened to you, if you've heard anything similar. Okay, I mean, I've never heard a story like that before, but it's definitely like scary, and it's definitely eerie to have that happen to you as a younger kid. I know it might not have been easy at all, and I can see why it left this person feeling very scared and traumatized. And one little side note that this person wanted to add was that her imaginary friend Mary Ann, the other half of her face that she usually covered, that side either looks burned or a side of a skull that you can clearly see. So it's really spooky. It may be the reason that person, Mary Ann, the imaginary friend, hides her face. It could be why she hides that half of her face, because of the spooky side of it all. I will leave the picture right here for you guys so you can see what she described her imaginary friend Mary Ann to look like. But that is really spooky, you guys. I'm not even sure like what to make of this. Do you guys think that this is something that you have experienced before? Have you had any similar experiences? If you've had any paranormal experiences at all, or anything you'd like to share with me, you can leave that down in the comments below and we can talk about it in my next video. But this is very eerie and terrifying, and I've never had something crazy like that happen to me, but I did have a lot of experiences like I've mentioned, and who knows, maybe in my next video I could talk about a paranormal experience that I've had, or 3 paranormal experiences that I've had, depending on what I'm thinking up for the next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. In the next video, I might try to contact Mary Ann and see if I can get any messages out of her. But for now, that's all. Thank you. Goodbye, you guys.